I've always been a traveler. Ever since I was a baby, my family has taken me all around the world. That need to travel and explore is in my blood. I've visited countless countries, seen breathtaking landscapes, and met people from every corner of the earth. Years ago, I went on a trip to Jamaica with my boyfriend. Part of our vacation included staying for a few nights on a luxurious cruise ship. It was supposed to be a romantic, relaxing getaway. The ship was stunning and elegant. Its dining hall tables were set like something out of a dream. We dressed up for dinner on our first night and headed to one of the main dining rooms, ready to indulge in a beautiful meal together. But that's when things began to shift. He started to act funny during dinner. His mood darkened, and his responses became clipped and cold. His eyes seemed different somehow, like there was someone else looking out through them. I'm very observant, so I immediately started paying attention, watching for patterns, triggers, anything. I couldn't figure out what was setting him off, but I knew something wasn't right. After an hour or so, he started to act normal again. He smiled at me, laughed, and carried on like nothing had happened. It was like flipping a switch. I felt uneasy, but told myself maybe he was just tired. Maybe it was the stress of travel or even seasickness. We finished our entrees and called over a waitress to order dessert. She was a young woman with a polite smile, moving quickly between tables. The moment she walked away, my boyfriend's demeanor flipped again. His face twisted with anger, his voice sharp and cruel as he snapped at me. He turned into someone unrecognizable. My heart pounded as I sat frozen, trying to keep calm. When the waitress returned with our desserts, he immediately went silent. Again, almost like nothing had happened. It was disturbing. The waitress left again, and instantly his behavior worsened. This time, it escalated into full-blown rage. Before I could even react, my boyfriend stormed out of the dining hall, his footsteps pounding against the floor. The entire room went quiet as other guests turned to stare. I was mortified and embarrassed. I quickly paid the waitress, mumbling an apology, and hurried after him. By the time I reached our cabin, the door was unlocked and slightly ajar. A cold dread crept over me as I pushed it open. Inside, I found my boyfriend deceased. Lying on the floor, his body twisted unnaturally, and clutched tightly in his hand was a knife. The shock hit me like a physical blow. I dropped to my knees, screaming his name, shaking him, but it was too late. Through my haze of grief and terror, I noticed something wrong. Every single time his mood had shifted, every time he'd acted strangely, the same waitress had been nearby. I replayed the evening in my mind. Her presence, the timing, the way his rage would vanish whenever she appeared and return the moment she walked away. In the days that followed, I tried to uncover what had happened. I spoke to staff members, asked questions, and eventually managed to dig up some disturbing information about the ship's history. 6 months earlier, a waitress had taken her own life in that very same dining hall. She hadn't left a note, hadn't shown any warning signs. Just one day, in the middle of her shift, she had simply snapped and ended her life right there in the center of the room. I found pictures of the scene, and she died right next to a pole in the center of the hall. It was the very same pole where our table had been that night. I contacted a spiritual expert, someone who specialized in hauntings and negative entities. After I explained everything, she listened silently before speaking. She wasn't just a ghost, the expert told me. She became something darker after her death, a spirit consumed by her own shame. According to the spiritual expert, this waitress couldn't bear the weight of the guilt and pain she felt for taking her own life. So instead of facing it, she began seeking others to carry that burden for her. She attached herself to your boyfriend, the expert said. She wanted to transfer her shame onto him. That's why his moods shifted so violently whenever she was near. She was feeding on his energy, preparing him to take her place. I felt sick to my stomach hearing that. This spirit was so ashamed of herself for ending her own life, and so she wanted to get rid of that shamefulness by making my boyfriend's soul take the shame too.